Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, Instagram. Good morning, YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. As you comment, if this is your first time, definitely comment in the box and let me know it's your first time and where you're tuning in from. Today, I'm just doing more of a frequently asked questions. Good morning, Bacaro on Instagram. I'm just doing more of a frequently asked question. So definitely comment in the box. Let me know where you're tuning in from. If this is your first time tuning in, um, hi, Junior. I'm not answering your question. That's my brother on Instagram asking me a question about how to build a successful practice. But Kari, wow, good morning. Thank you for tuning in from Nigeria for the first time. I'll definitely love for you to stay here. Thank you, Junior, for tuning in for the first time. Make sure you subscribe to my channel on YouTube so you can be notified whenever I go live. Subscribe to my Instagram. You can hit the like button and the notification. Hi, Obioma from Tampa. Thanks for tuning in. Good morning, Joy from Facebook. Thanks for tuning in. Joy, where are you located? Good morning, Kimberly. I'm loving seeing all of you today. Happy Friday. So yeah, and then follow me on Facebook as well. I try to come on here almost every morning, or I should say every weekday morning, just talking about what's going on in immigration, answering your frequently asked question today. Usually I have different topic, but today it's really more of a let's chat, frequently asked question. If you have questions, you can ask it. This is a good time. The floor is yours. And for those of you on Instagram, my brother, his handle is ICAM Jr. He said, let your viewers know if they need an orthopedic or spine surgeon, call me. So call him. He's in Little Rock, Arkansas. He's a pretty amazing surgeon, and he can help you if you live in that area. Or if you want to drive to that area because he's, good at what he does. Hi, Will Franz from Maryland, Antonia from New York, PJ from Delray Beach. I'm loving it. Okay, guys. So let me introduce myself. My name is Aisha Chidolwe. I'm an immigration attorney. I represent clients all over the United States with their family immigration matters. So whatever state you live in, it doesn't matter. If you're outside the country and you have somebody here petitioning for you, it doesn't matter as well. We have offices in Orlando and in Atlanta, but that does not matter. We take clients in all 50 states. Okay, so some of you just jumped right into the question. So let me start answering some questions. So somebody on YouTube says, if I disclose that I worked under the table in the US before I got my papers, will they ask me to pay taxes from working under the table? So this is more of a good moral character type of thing. So what I will suggest is that once you get your Social Security and you're able to pay taxes, just pay taxes. This helps you when you're filing for citizenship, because when you are filing for citizenship, they don't want you to not owe back taxes because it doesn't show that you have good moral character. Obviously, a lot of people work under the table. Do they all pay taxes? Probably not, because they don't even have Social Security to pay taxes. But once you do get Social Security and you can pay taxes, just pay taxes, okay? So somebody says, Bakari says, how can I make it possible from Nigeria to America? Well, Bakari, it is very, very, very difficult to get a visiting visa from Nigeria to America. If you don't have sufficient nexus showing that you will return back to Nigeria. And what I mean by that is, and for those of you who are Nigerian and have gone through the visa process, you understand what I'm talking about. If you're somebody who, you're a single guy or a single girl, you don't have kids, you don't have like a steady job, you don't have property, to them, you're a flight risk. What that means is that, you're going to come here and you're not going to go back to Nigeria. So to increase your odds, you want to try to make sure that you have stuff that shows that you're just using this visa to visit and that you'll come back. And once you've proven that you will go and come back, it becomes much easier to renew your visas because you've built trust, with them. Otherwise, if you're not able to get a B1, B2 visa, which is the tourist visa, another thing that you want to continue is consider as a student visa. So I don't know how old you are, if you're willing to go back to school, but you can certainly apply to schools in the United States. Make sure that the school that you're applying to is an SEVIS school. If it is an SEVIS school, you should be able to get approved. Once you get approved for the school and you're able to pay tuition, then, you'll be able to get an F1 visa. And then just a tip here is that if you can, or you have the ability to do so, definitely try to go for a STEM major, which is science, technology, engineering, and math. If you go for one of those majors, what's going to happen is you're going to have 3 additional years of what we call OPT, which is occupational training, that allows you to match for an H-1B visa and increases your chances of being able to stay here and permanently get a green card. So try to stick to those majors, okay? Okay, let me answer. So today, Instagram, I see y'all are very chatty today. So let me answer some before I go to Facebook. Somebody says, I got separated from my abusive U.S. spouse. Can I change my address before filing for VAWA, please? So the answer to that question is it depends on whether you have a petition or not. If you don't have a petition pending, there's nothing to change an address for. However, if you can change your address with your VAWA petition. But keep in mind that most VAWA cases, there is usually a column for a safe address, because they understand that sometimes if you live with your abuser, it's risky to get mail from USCIS. So if you're working with an attorney, your attorney's office generally will be your safe address so that they can receive the mail for you. I mean, they'll have your physical address, but as far as your safe address for mailing and all of that, it will go to your attorney's office, and then your attorney can forward it to you. Somebody says, my friend was married on Facebook. This person says, my friend was married to a permanent resident. He got his green card based on VAWA. He would like to know if he could apply for citizenship within 3 years. Absolutely. So if he got his green card based on VAWA, he is eligible to file for citizenship within 3 years. Keep in mind, though, even though he's eligible, he still has to make sure that, 1, he doesn't have any crimes of moral turpitude in the last 5 years. He's paying his taxes. He registered for selective service if it was the ages of 18 and 26. And that whenever he's applying, the address where he lives, he's lived there for at least 3 months. Oh, and that he doesn't owe back child tax support. And, if he does that, he should be fine. My mouse is not working today. Or maybe I have the wrong person's spouse. I think I took my husband's mouse today. Okay. So somebody says, I already filed a joint petition to remove conditions, and my case is pending scheduling for an interview, but I've left my wife's apartment and staying on my own now because the stress from her was getting too much. What should I do? Okay, that doesn't sound good. But you have 2 options. This is for XT on Facebook. And for those of you tuning in for the first time, if you see me looking up and down, it's because I have multiple screens open to stream for everybody. So I tend to look at the screen of whoever's asking the question. So, you typically, or generally, for those who don't know, to remove conditions on your green card, based on marriage, you have to file a joint removal with your spouse. However, with everything related to law, there are some exceptions. So in your case, the two options that you're going to have are based on extreme cruelty and abuse or divorce. Based on your question, it doesn't seem that you and your wife are divorced yet. So if you are planning to get divorced, then you better get divorced ASAP so that you will have your divorce decree with you. And then when you get there, you can basically ask to change your application type to one based on divorce, because you and your spouse are divorced. But you still have to prove that you had a bona fide marriage to your spouse. The second option is if your spouse has been extremely cruel or abusive, then you can waive based on that. I will suggest you contact me for a consultation so that I can screen you to see if you will qualify for extreme cruelty and abuse. My phone number is 407-995-6567. It's scrolling through the ticker, but if you're on Instagram, it's in my profile, so you can also check it from there. Let's see, what else do I have from out of America? Is there a way asylum pending can marry someone from out of America, and can they get Social Security under me who is pending? No. So the next question is, do you think the reconciliation budget will pass and grant Dreamers a pathway to citizenship? I think so. Do we know when it's going to pass? I don't. But what I can say is that every president has an agenda that's typically the strongest of their agenda. when they entered the presidency, and I can say that President Biden, one of his agenda and his strongest agenda is this immigration reform. Like, this is a big thing for President Biden. And if you look back to his history, he was even the one that voted in the VAWA Act, Violence Against Women's Act. So this is something that he's very passionate about. And, what the terms are going to be, I don't know. But just even based on some of the little small changes we've been seeing and how they've extended, TPS for Haiti, Venezuela, and certain other things, I do think that, there's a possibility that it will pass. So, we just have to wait and see. Somebody says, I've been married under 2 years and USCIS sent me a 10-year green card. What should I do? So are you sure you've been married under 2 years? If that's the case, you can actually request the correct green card based on an error that was on USCIS part. That's what you're going to need to do. And USCIS sometimes makes mistakes. Somebody says, I'm asking for a friend. If one is up for deportation, can their newly naturalized child now file for them? The answer is it depends. It depends on how they entered into the United States, and all of that stuff. So I would need to know more details on that. Let's see what else we have here. Somebody says, what is a possibility that we asylum seekers can get a green card? The possibility is that if you do get approved for an asylum, and after waiting some time, you're eligible to file for a green card. Or if you have a pending asylum and then you end up getting married to a U.S. citizen, then you can file while your asylum is pending for that. Okay. Let's see. So PJ says, my question for you today is, how long does TPS take to complete so I can go see my mom? Honestly, I don't know. They just started allowing new applications. So we got to wait and see what the wait time is. Once we get some of them approved, we'll be able to give you an accurate time. Somebody says, what happens next after receiving a deficiency notice and you've been asked to get your medical towards your interview? It's been 3 months now since I filed. So you want to be very careful to read what your deficiency notice says. So a deficiency notice is usually given just standard, naturally, when you don't submit your medical exam when you put in your application. And you're usually given two options, either to bring it with you to the interview, or or they will tell you in the letter, and they will say, if we need it, we will request it from you. So if they don't request it from you, you shouldn't proactively say that. But that leads me to an announcement that was just made yesterday by USCIS as far as medical exams. Right now, because typically before we will just send the medical, we will just bring the medical with us to interviews. But now, depending on the case, if I know it's a slam dunk case, parent-child, marriage base that has a gazillion, proof and evidence, send your medical with you, because they have extended the expiration for your medical report for 4 years due to the pandemic. I mean, they're saying that this extension is still September, so we'll see what happens. But if you're putting it down, you might as well just send it before, people don't send it, especially with VAWA cases, just because, excuse me, VAWAs take, 2 years to 2.5 years. So by the time you send your medical, it will expire. But for the marriage cases, it's okay to send it. Real Zim says, my prima facie is expired. Can I request for a new one, or is USCIS going to renew it automatically? Real Zim, they are supposed to renew it automatically. So if it's expired and it's been more than a month and you still haven't gotten it, you can definitely reach out to them. It's difficult to reach out to them if you're a VAWA applicant and you don't have an attorney, but you're going to have to send a letter to do it. Okay. Quinn says, I'm Jennifer. I'm watching from Nigeria. Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for tuning in from Nigeria. Excellent Gold says, I'm on a removal order and my I-130 Was denied. What's the way out? Yeah. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I don't know. Are you from a TPS country? If you're from a TPS country, maybe you can file for TPS, but that's a toughie, to be honest. Let's see what else we have. So this person says, greetings. I did my biometrics on July 16th to become a U.S. citizen. How long does it take to call for final process? So you mean how long does it take before you're scheduled for an interview? Well, the answer is that it really depends on your field office. I can tell you that, in Florida and in Georgia right now, well, Georgia, we're actually seeing a longer timeline, but in Florida, we're seeing about a year, like 12 months. A lot of these things is due to the pandemic, the delay, because before the pandemic, it would take like, 7 months, 8 months. But right now we're seeing about 12 months from when we put in the application to when they schedule you for the interview. So basically the same timeline as a marriage-based case. With Georgia, I would say that, we're seeing a longer time. Other states, you just want to put that vicinity around 10 to 12 months for most naturalization and this is counting from when you initially submitted. Okay, so Mrs. said, it's been 5 months since I had my VAWA interview and my case is still pending. What do? I would say wait till the 6th month. If you don't hear anything after the 6th month, you can then do a status inquiry. And if they're still not giving you anything, you might want to try for congressional assistance or ombudsman request. Okay. Kimberly says, hi, Aisha. I applied for VAWA in April of 2021, I-765, I-485, and I-360. I only got the biometrics to do the I-485 and I-360. I haven't gotten my I-765. Would that mean I wouldn't get a work permit? No, it doesn't mean that. USCIS just has a method to their madness. Sometimes you'll be able to use your 485 biometrics and do a bypass. So don't even worry about that. So Dre says, I'm watching from Tennessee. Hi. Me and my spouse live with her mom and we have a child together. I actually don't have enough documents to apply for removal of conditions due to the fact that we live with her mom. Well, having a child is good enough. You having a child clearly indicates that you are married, and something is happening. So make sure you take that child's birth certificate that shows both of you are there. Make sure the mom writes a letter stating that you guys live with her, and so your names are not on the lease because she's allowing you to live with her. Other things that you can take are pictures. If you guys have cell phone bills that you pay, and take the bills from after you got your green card. If you have a bank account that you both share, you can also do that as well. Obviously I don't know all the things that you have, but those are some things that you can do to increase it. Someone says, how long does it take to get a VAWA approval? Do you mean annual work permit? Is that the question you're asking, Lakitan, on Instagram? Your question is not very clear. But normally VAWA takes 2 years to 2.5 years. If you're lucky, it's quick. Like I was just saying 2 days ago, one of our clients, I actually posted it, I think I posted it 2 days ago when we got the stuff. Normally it takes 2 years, but sometimes, you get an approval in like 7 months, but that's not normal at all. Like 6 months, 7 months. This client who submitted her petition in February, but it's not the norm. The norm is that it takes 2 years for you to get approved, but sometimes if you're lucky, you can get it quicker or sometimes later. Somebody asked, can I renew my license with my prima facie? Well, Lakitan, it depends on what state you're in. In the state of Florida, you can. So I don't know what state you're in. Hey, Takoa, answer my text message. I don't know if you answered it already, but I'll check when I get off. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. Someone said, how soon do you think I will be able to get my work permit since I did my biometrics in August? So if you just did your biometrics, give or take, you probably will get it around October, November. Don't quote me on this because I don't know anything about your case. I'm just giving sort of like an average-ish timeline from your biometrics. So hopefully you get it then, because if you applied in April, yeah, that makes sense that you should get it then, because the average time for work permits are between 6 to 8 months from when you applied. But most people fall around that 5.5 to 6 months window. However, recently, in the last 2 months, we've been seeing our clients that submitted their applications 4 months ago getting their work permit. So if you're lucky, it should be coming any day soon. So it's almost like going back to what it used to be before the pandemic, which was, 4 months time. All right, let's see what else we have here. You're welcome. You're welcome. Let's see what else. Because my mouse is not working and I'm using the laptop, I'm having such a hard time scrolling up. And I also wrote some questions. And, a lot of people ask me what a prima facie determination letter is. So a prima facie determination letter is basically a letter that you receive if your VAWA application meets the bare minimum standards. So it's not a guarantee of approval, but it shows that you're in the right step. It's basically saying that you meet the minimum requirements. So we're going to give you this document, and it's going to cover you and all your children under 21. Whether your children live in the United States or not, it's going to cover them. And what the benefits is that, one, you are able to get public assistance if you need public assistance. The requirement, though, to get public assistance means that you cannot be living with your abuser. So if you're being abused and you need public assistance, they expect you to not be living with your abuser to get the public assistance. The second thing is that it allows you to get financial aid for you and your children, to go back to school. And then for other people and some other states, this one is very state specific. If you don't have a driver's license and your work permit is not yet here, it allows you to get a driver's license, so you can be mobile and, move around. Kimberly says, thank you, Aisha, you're the best. You're welcome. And then another question that I always get, I wrote some notes, and I'm going to say the two of them before I jump off. People always ask me, does VAWA cover men? The answer is yes, it does. So the name of the law is VAWA. I said VAWA, Violence Against Women's Act. But even though it says Violence Against Women's Act, it covers men, it covers children, and it covers parents. So if you're a man that's experiencing abuse, there's no shame here. You could qualify. It's not only for women. It's just that that's what they named it. And maybe they will change it to be more inclusive one of these days. I don't know. But you definitely can qualify. If you're a child, male or female, you definitely can qualify. If you're a parent, male or female, you definitely can qualify. Qualifications basically mean that, you've been extremely, your spouse, your parent, or your child has been extremely cruel to you or abusive to you. If it's a spouse, the person has to be a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. Same with children, your parent has to be a U.S. citizen or a green card holder. But if it's a child, the child has to be a U.S. citizen and the child has to be over the age of 21. Somebody says, can I work with a prima facie determination letter? No. Yes. So Magoon on IL on YouTube says, about financial aid, does it cover college courses? Yes. So you just have to renew your prima facie every year. It does. And then the last thing, the last question I want to talk about before I jump off, unless there are other questions, is with people ask me this all the time with a K-1 visa, a fiance visa, how soon can we get married, or how late can we get married? 90 days. If you watch 90 Days Fiance, that's why it's called 90-Day Fiance. You're only allowed to be not married for 90 days. A K-1 visa, which is also the same as a fiance visa, is a non-immigrant visa. So it doesn't give you any status. It just allows you to come to the United States. And you need to marry your spouse within 90 days if you don't want to start the entire process and petition again. That's number one. Number two, if you don't marry your spouse and your spouse goes through all this trouble and brings you into the United States, guess what's going to happen? You're never going to be able to adjust your status in the United States. So don't be one of those people. Make somebody petition for you, come in here and you're like, peace out, I'm out. Because you will not be able to get your green card. So make sure you marry the person who brings you here. Okay, people, I hope you guys are going to have a fabulous weekend. I'm very excited about the weekend. It's been a long week from me. And I will see you guys on Monday. If this is your first time, I try to come on sometime between 8:30 to 9:30. I don't have any promises or guarantee of what time I'll be on. I have several USCIS interviews next week, so I don't know, but generally that's when I come on. But if you like and subscribe to my channel and my pages, once I come on, it will alert you that I'm online and you'll be able to see me. And if you miss it, you can always watch the replay. All right, guys, I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Bye.